something very, very special. See, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of the release of Batman Arkham Asylum, the game that revolutionized superhero games and licensed games in general. This game should be heralded as a true accomplishment on Rocksteady's part, and an incredible game overall. We're not going to be playing any of the other Arkham games today, and I'm popping into the story save, which is basically done, just to get familiar with the controls again, because I've been playing so much Arkham Knight that I need to remember the hotfixes and hot controls and things. So, punch is still that button, you still got counter, stun, evade. There's no ultra stun in this game, there's no aerial attacks. You only have 2 quickfire gadgets in the Batarang and the Backclaw, which also comes with the, because it's ultra, oh that's right, you just press which of these directions you want. And that can grapple up to 3 people. That was only ever a functionality in Arkham Asylum that never came back for Arkham City or Arkham Knight or Arkham Origins, but that's because Arkham Origins is technically a prequel, so it made sense. I'm just going to very quickly send an invite to some peeps, and we will be well on our way. We're just going to be doing a few challenges, combat challenges. We'll play as the Joker, because that was a thing. That was PS3 exclusive, actually. It was originally only PS3 players who were allowed to play, who were able to play as the Joker. And I believe that functionality became a thing in the Xbox One with the Return to Arkham Remaster, which I am playing on PS4. I'm just trying to invite some peeps. I got 1, 2, I'm trying to think of who else. I think that's about it for Facebook. Again, I got several people I want to invite because I want to celebrate it with peeps. Do this, and then do this. Alright, so everybody's been invited who has been invited. Controls have been refamiliarized. Anything else? Right, L1 for the detective mode, and R1 is still grapple, but L1 for the detective mode. That used to be up. That's up on the D-pad in Arkham Knight, and it was L2 in Arkham City. So it went from L1 to L2 to up, and L1 used to be how you would I don't remember what L1 was in Arkham City, but maybe in a couple of years we'll play Arkham City for its 10th anniversary. So, let's begin. And one thing that this game did better than just about anything at the time was it highlighted, well, it being written by Paul Dini, really highlighted Batman's history. You can see in the character bios, half of these characters don't even show up in the game outside of cameos, but they are still in there, and they still leave an influence that you start seeing in later games. For instance, Warden Sharp is a supporting character, and then he kind of has a big part in Arkham City, even though you only ever really see him once. Original characters like Penelope Young and Frank Bulls only made 1 appearance. And then you have Catwoman. Catwoman is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. She only makes a cameo because her gear is in the Asylum. As something you would scan as a riddle. However, she becomes playable in Arkham City and has her own little side story and becomes the first, well, not quite, and she becomes the first playable character to have her own little side story. And then Penguin, also just a riddle, but becomes a fairly sizable villain in the early act of Arkham City. But some characters, unfortunately, did not quite make the cut. Recently, it has come out that Prometheus was supposed to be a character in Arkham Knight, but was it Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum? I think it was Arkham Knight, where he was supposed to make an appearance. But that never, unfortunately, happened due to time. But Prometheus is basically the criminal version of Batman. Raised by criminals, gunned down by police, and decided to destroy the law. Criminal Batman. So he would have been really interesting to have as a fight, maybe as like a Deathstroke style boss fight in Arkham Knight, but unfortunately that was never meant to be. Maxi Zeus has only ever made cameo appearances. Where's Firefly? There he is. So Firefly is also an interesting case because Firefly doesn't make an appearance in Arkham Knight, or no, he makes an appearance in Arkham Knight. He doesn't make an appearance in Arkham City or in Arkham Asylum, outside of a cameo or two. But he makes his first appearance in Arkham Origins, and then he appears in Arkham Knight. So, I want to say out of all of these characters, maybe a third of them don't actually make physical appearances in the Arkham series yet. Because we did get some of that cancelled concept art that looked simultaneously interesting and a bit worrying because of how they were handling Ivy, or how they were handling Ivy and having a Lady Black mask, which I thought was kind of cool. But the Ivy one kind of worried me, and then they shaved Dick Grayson's head again. Why do they keep trying to shave Dick Grayson's head? I have no idea. But let's see. I'm trying to find characters that did not make a physical appearance at all in the Arkham games to date. Let me see. So we got first appeared in Arkham City, physical appearance, appears in Arkham City, when they first appear. Jack Ryder appears in Arkham City. Scarface as in the actual doll makes an appearance in Arkham Asylum, but we don't see his puppet master. We don't see Arnold Wesker anywhere. Hush makes an appearance in Arkham City, and then has the closest thing to a major debut in Arkham Knight when he was a side mission. Maxi Zeus does not make an appearance. Prometheus does not make an appearance, but was cut. The Great White Shark does not make an official appearance, like physical appearance. Raish becomes like kind of one of the main bad guys in Arkham City. Mad Hatter makes his appearance in Arkham City. Clayface appears in Arkham City. Killer Moth never makes an appearance. The Ventriloquist, only Scarface makes an appearance there. Hugo Strange, the main big bad of Arkham City for the most part. And what's crazy is that they make this reference to how he figured out Batman's identity as Bruce Wayne. But that never really happens in the Arkhamverse until Arkham City, when he makes his first appearance. Black Mask makes a cameo, makes 2 cameos, and then appears as a villain in Arkham Knight. Or Arkham Knight? No, Arkham Origins. I got that mixed up. Firefly appears in Arkham Origins. We don't see these two ever. Amadeus is long dead, and the Calendar Man makes a physical appearance in Arkham City. So, overall, the only characters who don't really make a physical... Oh, and the Ratcatcher. He never makes a physical appearance. He dies, but we never see him. So, and that same goes for Humpty Dumpty. Well, Humpty Dumpty we don't see. So we've never seen, physically in the Arkham games, Amadeus Arkham, because... And it'd be hard to have him appear because Amadeus Arkham founded the Elizabeth Arkham Asylum. And I think he's been dead... for several decades at this point. We've not seen physical appearances for Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Humpty Dumpty, the Ratcatcher, Killer Moth, the Great White Shark, Maxi Zeus, Prometheus, although he was very close, Arnold Wesker never makes an appearance, and we don't see any of the other people who take out the ventriloquist name, particularly Arnold's daughter, whose name I can't remember. And that's it, I think. Yeah, that's... Oh. Thomas and Martha Wayne would be almost impossible to do. But I think they make a physical appearance in Arkham Asylum as a hallucination, but still. So only a handful of these characters that we see in the character bios don't make a physical appearance. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 with Ratcatcher, not with Firefly. 5, 6, 7, 8 if you use the ventriloquist separate from Scarface, which I do, and that's about it. So only 7 or 8 characters don't out of this whole character bio, which is 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 3 by 14, so 28 plus 14 is 42, 41 characters, because I'm not counting the Spirit of Arkham separately, because the writings have been revealed. My point is, going through all of those character bios for about 5 minutes, is that Arkham takes the Batman mythos very seriously and very much appreciates even the dark corners of the mythology. I mean, characters like Victor Zsasz, not very many people knew about Victor Zsasz until Arkham Asylum, myself included. And really, if I'm going to be completely honest, Arkham Asylum was my first real foray into Batman. I've never really gotten too deep into Batman outside of the Batman TV show from 2003, 2004. I hadn't even watched the Justice League show at this point. So to hear Kevin Conroy's Batman for the first time, Mark Hamill's Joker for the first time in Arkham Asylum was truly something special. And as a quick aside, and a little bit of, it's just a quick random aside, I have met Kevin Conroy in person. He is just an amazing human being. Or how about Harley Quinn? Yes, because my first exposure to Batman mythos really was Arkham Asylum. I had never heard of Harley Quinn until this game, and she was one hell of an interesting character who caught my attention. Poison Ivy, or probably one of my... Poison Ivy was a classic. Who's a really good example of a character? Perfect. Right here. Killer Croc. I had seen Killer Croc from the Batman TV show. I have never seen him like this. I've never seen him as an 11-foot tall crocodile monster. It says he's 9 feet tall, but I think he's closer to 11 in Arkham Asylum. He's a big guy. Forgot to invite somebody. So this makes me, so this game brings back a huge amount of nostalgia. This was also, by the way, the very first video game I ever 100% completed. It took a long time, but I 100% completed Arkham Asylum for the first time, back in like 2012. And holy God, the feeling was great. But now, it's time to go into challenge mode. We're going to start off easy with with the first 2 combat and predator challenges respectively. Intensive treatment and silent night. With color commentary by Mark Hamill's Joker. So this is just going to help me refresh my memory a little bit. I will allow myself to get hit, just... That probably was not the best move.
Hey, Dats, go easy.
That's not bad.
For me. Oh, hell, what do I get?
Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Oh yeah, back then ground pounds were worth 100 points. Now they're worth 75.
He's just one man. One man dressed like
What did I miss? Thing. Hold on. Throw, thing, cape. Did I forget the cape sense? There we go. That should take care of you. There we go. Now they're from Arkham City onwards, they became worth 75, and the throw.
Need to order more henchmen. Good ones this time.
Fun fact: the throw stopped being a part of Batman's moveset since Arkham City. I'm gonna just chuck you over here. Yeet! And that became a move for Robin ever since he became DLC in Arkham City. The throw input became the input for the Bat Swarm, which only made its appearances in Arkham City and Arkham Origins. Oh, I dropped the combo at the end. It's okay.
So you win again. It's a shame that while you've been fighting, I've had everyone you love brutally murdered.
Still got a new high score. Still got a new high score. That's great. What was I saying? Okay, so a few things to take away from that have changed in combat overall. The combat has been sped up gradually with more enemies because Batman could do more in order to keep it balanced. Top 250 in the world, apparently. Not bad. What else? The Ultra Bat Claw only ever made an appearance in Arkham Asylum. Funny that my leaderboard thing did not show up. What was I saying? I was saying... Sorry, I'm trying to remember here. I'm trying to remember all of the changes. More quickfire gadgets became a thing. Quickfire explosive gel, quickfire REC. The REC actually became a thing. The REC actually became a big deal, a big mainstay gadget in Arkham City. The freeze blast or glue grenade, depending on the game in question, became a thing. Throw counters did not become a thing until Arkham Knight. I'm trying to think here. Oh yeah, and the reason why they got rid of the Bat Swarm was to get the weaponized mechanic in Arkham Asylum. Or not Arkham Asylum, in Arkham Knight, because Batman could pick up bats and use them as weapons until they broke. But that required dropping the Bat Swarm input, but I don't understand. Nobody's ever had a square plus circle input for a special combo move, so maybe they could have done that. But now we're in a Predator challenge, and a lot has changed here too. First off, those suicide collars, as they're affectionately called.
The medical building is ours. No one's taking it from us.
Are you guys okay? You're not feeling the pressure as he takes you out one by one.
I'll just try and focus here.
You heard something? Someone get over there!
1, 2, 3. Oh no, come on, follow! Ah! Got you in the end.
Don't get too cocky, Batman!
Would have been even faster that third guy finally fell down. Okay, so some takeaways there. What has changed from Arkham Asylum throughout the games when it came to Predator challenges? The detective mode kind of became a little less broken. They made things a little bit harder to define. Making enemies orange instead of red was really the big thing that they did there. Your arsenal is very simplified. It's very bare bones, I would dare to say, in comparison to some of the other in comparison to some of the other Arkham games. You don't have the REC. You don't have any disruptors or disablers or anything like that. So their guns cannot be touched, which makes the thugs much more dangerous. You also don't have as many takedown opportunities as you did before. The corner takedown mechanic was basically just you hide behind a corner and perform a silent takedown when they get particularly close. You don't get the grapnel and pull them in that you did in Arkham Knight and possibly in Arkham City. Takedowns from above, silent takedowns from above did not happen. You also did not have the takedown smash. That I wonder how many people forget this, but the takedown smash was not a thing until Arkham City. Arkham Asylum didn't have the takedown smash, which was just a quick way to a quick version of the silent takedown that made noise. I'm trying to think here. There is a gadget that you can use. That you can use in almost every Arkham game except for Knight. That has to call it an upgrade might be a bit of an ask, but it's definitely something. It's definitely a different version, regardless. I think we'll do survival tactics to show it off. For those Arkham fans who do know, this is the Sonic Batarang. So you would place this on a wall and lure somebody to an optimal takedown position. Now, I'm going to also quickly show you.
Searching Arkham Asylum for you, Batman. I won't stop you.
So here are your challenges, by the way. So drop down on top of a henchman and then ground takedown, inverted takedown, and glass ceiling takedown.
You're dead, or they are.
Also, moving between gargoyles is slightly slower. Gotcha! Also, you could not grapple in midair. You could only grapple from the ground. That's another thing. No smoke bombs. That was another thing. You don't have smoke bombs in Arkham Asylum. So you have to rely on your ability to stay out of sight. Just gonna hang here. Wait for him to come. See what I mean? Now there is a bit of a cooldown, but you can use. There's a little bit of a cooldown. Yank these guys off.
But yeah, you could use this an unlimited amount of times, and unlike in Arkham Knight where the voice synthesizer can be basically shut off after too many uses, this cannot be. The only way to shut it off would be to make them explode with the Sonic Shock Batarang upgrade. Oh, and the drop attack function. And the drop attack function you had to perform very manually. There wasn't like, it's not like a glide kick button basically, just for close range. You had to drop down on them on your own. Not my fastest time, but...
So you win again. It's a shame that while you've been fighting, I've had everyone you love brutally murdered.
So a lot has changed from Arkham Asylum to Arkham Knight, which was the last Arkham game. But this overall is the skeleton of this game is still very much here. In its free flow combat. That was the dog. In its free flow combat, its predator tactics, detective vision. It pioneered a lot for not just Arkham games, but games in general. Free-flowing point-based combat. The sort of detective mode thing where you can see enemies through walls through certain ways or whatever. And certain elements of stealth. And putting elements of stealth... I'm gonna not allow that one because that was stupid. Because that was dumb. But certain elements of stealth in an open world-ish environment, which I'm not sure has really been... which was done elsewhere, but this really popularized it because it was a Batman game that did it, and it really made you feel like Batman. Yoink! There's also one little piece of Batman trivia, Arkham Asylum trivia I want to share after this, before we get into the Joker.
Oh, hell, what do I get?
Bye! Oh yeah, and you could ring people out mid-combat. Which was kind of hilarious. And you're done. Another round complete. Oh yeah, this is also... I can't spoil it, but... I didn't counter anybody, I don't think. Okay, so these knife guys are very different from knife guys in the past. They always have, or in the future, they always had knives, and they would block most of your attacks. The only way to leave them open was to stun them with your cape. Or use gadgets or any of your unblockable attacks, but your basic strikes... your basic strikes would be blocked, and you could not counter their attacks. You could not counter their knife attacks. Whereas they introduced the dodge, dodge, dodge for the blade attacks in order to keep you on your toes. Did not counter anybody again this time, or this round. And
they would only have the one knife, and you could actually strike them. Okay, that was my fault. I'm gonna let... This hurts to watch. Okay. Oh, that's Zaz. That's what I wanted to talk about. Victor Zaz makes a combat cameo as a knife guy on this stage. Oh, and you don't really zip to opponents if you counter. So, definitely not my best performance.
Don't get too cocky, Bats. I was just softening you up.
Whatever. Proves the proof in the pudding. Proves the proof in the pudding. That doesn't make no goddamn sense. Anyway. So now we're going to move on to the Joker, who I don't tend to like to use for several reasons. Wow. Excuse me. You don't have a point limit. Apparently, I am top 50 in the world to use it on this challenge with the Joker, so here's that. But how does the Joker play? Well, he plays fairly similarly, but his a lot of his traveling strikes are slower. He has only one quick-fire gadget, but it's... Uh-oh.
I'm out of here, Cash. Do your work.
I'll be right back. It's a bit of a disaster. Nobody has hangers, and yet I have an excessive amount of them. Ouch! Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a little freshie that you kept it. I don't remember why.
Daughter! I need more baskets.
That's a disaster. There wasn't a lot of hangers. Now we're back. So as I was saying, Joker's, when he's going to strike somebody who's relatively far away, he doesn't like roll and kick or leap and kick or whatever. He'll almost drunkenly stagger over and sock him, so it's slower. His one gadget he can use, which is his gun, has one shot per round, but a single shot is combo times 250 points. That is a gargantuan amount and has not been touched up until Arkham Knight's Tag Team Takedown. And that's the only time that that's ever been a thing. Which is just incredible craziness. He has the stun, he has the counter. Oh, his stun is slower. I think he evades further than Batman, though. And I think that's it. He can still throw, he has his ground takedown. Let's go. Bam. See what I mean? So that's why I always try and save the gun for last. Save the gun for last, you get a colossal point bonus. I wonder if we'll see my favorite... Finish what? You've been shot in the gut. You've got barb. You got babs. Shouldn't be making that joke. See? I'm actually going to reset that one because that felt really stupid. It was a perfect example of what I was just talking about, though. You'll never take me alive. Gotcha!
When I'm done here, I'll carve a smile on your face.
See, that's much better already. It's almost 8K. Let's go.
Don't let him hit you, you idiots!
Boot!
Let's finish this!
I'm just chucking guys off those roofs. Go. Slap you, thing.
Finish this!
Finish what? I shot you in the gut! I Gordoned you!
Send in whoever you want!
Sing him,
I'll
Gordon.
kill them all and leave them smiling.
Gordon, Cash, Larry, and some of the other guards are actually guard skins in this game. Oh, and throwable items? You could not block in this game. But once they've been thrown or you disarm them, they're out of play for the rest of the fight. Oh! You know what? That was a fair play. That was fair play. There we go. It's not gonna be my best score, and
I'm not coming in without a fight, Arkham!
here we go. Yeah, see, there's Gordon. I'm gonna try and save him for last, and Gordon him. Not gonna accept getting hit twice though. That is just sloppy. Just getting sloppy. Okay. I really want to use projectiles, but I can't because gun. Okay, here we go. Come on. You over here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too. There's no such thing as double or triple counters. Counter one at a time.
This is going to be funny!
Here we go. Throw you out like bad trash. Oh, I missed. I can't believe I missed. Ah!
I'm warning you, I fight dirty!
Here we go. That was pretty quick, though. Okay. Boot. Slap. Would have been great if I just chucked him off the ledge, but Celebi shot him. That's all that matters.
You'll never take me alive!
Doing much better. Okay, here we go.
You killed
Drop the box.
You killed my buddy. Let's finish this.
Say goodbye to that trash.
Let's finish this. Let's finish this.
Whoa, that was close.
Let's finish this.
There it is. The salute slap is so good. It's my favorite counter in all of the Arkham games, animation-wise. And Jimmy got Gordon.
Vacation, Arkham.
Jimmy got Gordon. Oh, the prompt popped up. The prompt popped up and I didn't even see it. Okay. So, Joker. Joker with a capital J. How does he handle stealth challenges? Surprisingly well, actually. Certainly better than Harley does. But he's not great either. Actually, I take that back. He's probably the worst. Like, if we just took every single character that's ever been playable in any rendition of anything.
Did any of you hear the one about the escaped patient hunting down the guards and killing them one by one? No? Stick around.
My point is that, like, of every character who's ever been able to do Predator challenges, Joker's probably the worst of the whole batch. But at least he actually has a silent takedown. He also has his X-ray specs, which have to be equipped, and he can't move them. That's one of the big reasons why. He also has two one-use gadgets, which are fairly powerful. He basically has mobile explosive gel. And the aforementioned gun can take out multiple opponents.
Joker! Can you hear me? Show yourself! Joker!
There you go. Wait. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah! You only get one main health bar. You don't get any armor. So
Time for a little vacation, Arkham.
you get half of the health that Batman does, basically. So, and that's unlike every other secondary playable character since Arkham Asylum. Robin. Oops. Robin. Catwoman. Although Catwoman only gets 2 pieces of armor instead of 4, which she does get 4 pieces of armor in Arkham Knight. Catwoman. Robin. Nightwing. Batgirl. Azrael, who's a clone of Batman, but whatever. Harley Quinn, Deathstroke. They all get the armor upgrades. Joker doesn't. And Joker is very limited in his tool set. So that makes him overall one of the weakest, if not the weakest character you could ever play as in any Arkham game. But he's still incredibly fun because he may be weaker overall than Batman, but the fact that you could play as the Joker and have him actually be fairly decent is actually very good. And it helps that the game is very limited in comparison to the other Arkham games. you don't. You only run into 3 main types of enemy: knife, baton, and unarmed, who can become pipe guys. But so I guess we'll call it 4. And do we count Titans? Yeah. Okay. So I forgot about Titans. So we'll count Titans. So that's 5. 5 main kinds of bad guys you can run into. But let's just make the jump forward to Arkham's. Oh yeah, and then there's gun. Yeah, there's gun guys too. Never mind. So there's 6. So there's 6 main kinds of bad guys. Let's jump forward to Arkham City. Just Arkham City. You have a new type of knife guy. You have you have a new type of knife guy. You have ninjas. You have lieutenants. You also have Titans are not nearly as prevalent either. I'm trying to think what else there. Oh yeah, armored opponents. So you have armored opponents, and then you have new types of threats in Predator challenges, because in any Predator challenge I take, in just about any Predator challenge I take in Arkham Asylum, there's only the one type: the guys with the guns, and that's it. But in Arkham City, you have guys with thermal vision goggles, guys with mines.
Let's see if you've still got the moves, Bats.
What do I have to do here? Guys with thermal goggles, guys with, not knives, what was I thinking? Mines, that's what I was thinking. Guys with mines. And you also have various other different kinds of takedowns. And because you don't have most of those, are kind of MIA in Arkham Asylum, you don't have to really worry about them. And thus, the lesson...
Batman murdered 15 of my crew. Tore their heads off and ate their hearts. I know. But an animal. Better stop him before he hits someone else.
Down to 3 guys. Corner takedown and backlock.
Keep a lookout for the bat. Yeah, great plan.
Hey, you guys may want to have a look on the walkways. Someone left you a gift.
Get over here, everyone! On me!
Are you blind? Look down on the ground. There's something there, but I don't like it.
I just gotta wait for him to come in for the corner takedown.
Man down! Man down!
Is anyone gonna help me?
Yo, you're toast now, pal.
I know you probably think you're stuck in a room with that man hunting you down and you're the last one standing. Well, I got news for you. You're right.
That's the best you can get for corner takedowns. No grapnelling or anything like that. I mean, you can't chain grapnel either. That became a thing in,
Thanks for showing me them.
that kind of became a thing in, what was it called? Arkham Knight. I'm trying to remember which of the freaking Arkham games. There's been 4 of them over the past decade, and the hot rumor is that there's a 5th one in development by Rocksteady. Is that true? No idea. Doesn't seem to be the case, but it's hard to say. Now, there is one more thing we need to do before we begin, or rather continue. What else was there? Oh yeah, and then talking again about Predator challenges, things that also have changed in the Predator challenges. Thermal vision guys only showed up in Arkham Origins and Arkham City. They never show up again. Arkham Knight doesn't have thermal vision people, which I thought was very strange. I mean, why wouldn't you have thermal vision militia thugs? It's perfect. Especially if they're supposed to be trying to catch the Batman. Maybe even all of them could have thermal vision goggles in one challenge or something. I don't know. Thermal vision in mines and combinations thereof. You also have, oh, that's right. Arkham City would introduce jammers as well, and those guys would stick around. Except that you get new fun ways to disrupt them. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, and then there's militia brutes in Arkham Knight as well. Oh, and there's another combat weapon type that shows up in Arkham City that doesn't appear in Arkham Asylum, which is tied perfectly in conjunction with a move that's not in this game. Shields. Shields need to be taken out by doing aerial attacks, but since you can't do aerial attacks in Arkham Asylum, there is no such thing as a shield. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to kind of show before maybe we do one big grand finale of some kind is Batman's story. It's pretty standard. It's very much very much a Batman bio. When his parents were gunned down in front of him, young Bruce Wayne resolved to rid Gotham City of the criminal element that took their lives. He trained extensively to achieve mental and physical perfection, in addition to mastering martial arts, detective techniques, and criminal psychology. Dressing as a bat to prey on criminals' fears, Batman fights crime with the aid of specialized gadgets and vehicles, operating out of a secret Batcave below Wayne Manor. Pretty bog standard, right? What if I told you that word for word, right down to the punctuation, this was taken from Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe? This was literally copy and pasted from MK vs. DC. And it's not the only time that Arkham and Mortal Kombat would cross over. In Arkham, in the now defunct Arkham City Lockdown, I say defunct because I literally cannot find it anywhere. I think they actually did take it down. Arkham City Lockdown was a mobile game mainly for iOS, where it was kind of a simplified version of Arkham City. In one of the challenges, you fought a bunch of thugs, and the boss thug was, and I'm not kidding about this, was Mortal Kombat 9's Kano. Kano, the Black Dragon from Mortal Kombat, was in an Arkham game. Granted, he was just the boss in a mobile game, but it was developed by NetherRealm Studios in conjunction with Rocksteady. Which makes me kind of wish, just a fanciful theory out there, but this makes me kind of wish that Rocksteady does something Mortal Kombat based. Could you imagine, okay, just as a hypothetical, I'm going to do another challenge. I'm going to do another combat challenge just to kind of hammer the point home. Let's do Rumble in the Jungle. Could you imagine, in an Arkham-style engine, a Mortal Kombat game like this? With, I don't know, maybe Mortal Kombat Fire and Ice, Scorpion and Sub-Zero in Arkham style. Gotcha. Oh. That's gonna hurt. Alright.
Note to self. Need to order more henchmen.
Is it every second round, or is it only the fourth round that I gotta worry about?
Round 2, fight!
Okay. Now they're gonna start attacking a little bit faster as well. Okay. Fair play. If I fail twice, if I fail twice in one round, I'm gonna count that as just a no. I gotta mute some group chats real quick here too.
It's the main event! Batman versus the most horrible,
Here we go.
the most violent, and if I might add, downright angry members of Blackgate's Death Row.
Miss me. Also, if I fail in the first round. Because, come on. Who fails in the first round? Alright, and this will also be the last thing we do before we close it off. Because I only intended it on being about an hour. On this stream being about, like, an hour-long special. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Also, expect a bunch of other videos coming up later tonight for a very special, for some extra stuff. Maybe not very special, but you get my meaning. For some new stuff coming to the Chamber of the Wraith relating to Mortal Kombat 11. Gotcha. Watching the counters in slow motion, watching the counters as finishers is really fun too.
Need to order more henchmen. Good ones this time. Round 2, fight!
Gotcha. Oh! No. No, I refuse. I refuse! I refuse.
It's the big fight. Who will win? The heart killers, the merciless murderers.
Gotcha. Drop y'all.
Like an old man.
Gotcha.
Hey, Dats, go easy on him. For me. Oh, hell, what do I get? Do your worst!
Fine.
Get him on the ground and stuck on his face.
Nice. Also, I feel like every Arkham game has something it excels at. And for me, it's gotta be sound design. No Arkham game in combat sounds better than Arkham Asylum. Listen. The impact, the bone snapping, it is incredible in my opinion. It's just too good.
Dressed like a lunatic and armed with the teeth. Go get him!
Okay, we're gonna ready up and then.
Round 3!
Oh! Nah, screw it. We're over an hour, we need to finish. Oh. Tell him I'm getting rusty. I'm rusty in Arkham Asylum style, or in Asylum style. I'm way better at night.
Crap out of you.
Yeah, I'm going a little over my limit here.
Note to self.
Wanted to end it
Order more
for
henchmen.
an hour so that I
Good
actually.
one.
Oh fuck!
So far up your ass, you'll be choking.
So far up your ass, you'll be choking on it. And the. These guys know how to take a fucking beating. Combos dropped. Do the back choke, see? There you go.
Don't get too cocky, Batman! I'll get you next time.
Not bad. So that's a little bit of Arkham Asylum. 10 years of awesomeness. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus stream. Stay tuned for some tower tutorials, because there's a bunch of new towers that are randomly starting to crop up in Mortal Kombat 11. Don't forget to be awesome, and I'll see you on the other side.